I'm Jason Carter. Physical optimization defines my life. The day I was born, doctors nearly killed me with medical malpractice. They said I'd never walk. I've been proving them wrong for 35 years. It's easier than you think to obtain super optimal health. I've devoted my life to it, and with my help, you can too. I'm Jason Carter, and this is ENZYMENTAL. And welcome to ENZYMENTAL. I'm Jason Carter, and today I wanted to give you a few more benefits of probably my favorite dietary fat, butter. So you may not think of butter as being protective of the heart, but butter actually does have properties that are extremely protective of the heart, unlike margarine and any other fabricated fats that are quite damaging to the heart. Many studies have shown the danger of consuming margarine when it comes to heart health. A study in India, published in the 1976 issue of the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, compared two populations in India, one in the northern part and one in the southern part of the country, where the notable difference in the diet was the type of fat consumed. Those in the north consumed meat and ghee, which is clarified butter, as their main sources of fat. In the southern population, they used margarine and they did not eat meat, and they had a heart disease rate 15 times greater than the northern group, despite how they also had lower cholesterol levels. These researchers did a follow-up study 20 years later and reported similar statistics. So clearly, replacing natural saturated fats with processed vegetable oils is a complete disaster. So I've talked to you several times about cholesterol, and as I've told you, cholesterol is found in all body tissues and comprises an integral part of all cell membranes. Despite its evil stigma, cholesterol is actually necessary for vitamin D and hormone production. It's the building block of all hormones, things like estrogen, progesterone, and DHEA, among others. But also, cholesterol is essential for brain function, immune system health, and even eye development. Cholesterol is also needed for proper utilization of serotonin, which of course is your feel-good hormone, which explains why low cholesterol levels have been linked to poor moods and even aggressive behavior. Your body will try to maintain a balance between the amount of cholesterol consumed and the amount manufactured in the liver, and if little is taken in through food, your liver will produce more. This is why even drastic decreases in dietary cholesterol intake often produce only small drops in blood cholesterol. Additionally, lecithin is a natural component of butter that assists in the proper assimilation and metabolism of cholesterol and other fat constituents. So what lecithin usually does is it actually makes fats water soluble. It's a fat emulsifier, and that's why it's great for supporting liver function and also fat digestion. A primary argument of butter opponents is the fact that this nourishing food contains saturated fat. Saturated fat has been wrongfully labeled dangerous for far too long. The latest fat research clearly shows that the health concerns surrounding fats and oils come from consuming damaged fats, as we've talked about, like hydrogenated oils or even rancid fats that are generated with high temperatures. Fat damage is common with commercially produced vegetable oils due primarily to the extraction process. Saturated fat plays an important role in the body. Besides supporting immune system function and helping maintain cell integrity, one of the most healthful attributes of saturated fat is its stability. This means that it does not normally go rancid when heated during cooking, and helps to prevent other oils from going rancid in the body, which is quite desirable because rancid oils breed free radicals, which of course are those disease-causing unstable molecules. So what you want to look for when you're choosing a good butter is preferably one made from cows raised naturally, which means that these animals have been able to eat freely on a range of sweet green grass to infuse the butter with an abundance of nutrients. This means they have not been given antibiotics or feed that contains pesticides or that was raised with artificial fertilizers, so the flavor, texture, and appeal of this traditional fat can be changed by what cows are fed and even how the butter is churned. In the old days, milk was allowed to sit out and sour slightly before churning, giving it a flavor similar to yogurt and boosting its enzyme content. That'd be a good example of just basic fermentation right there. A number of manufacturers are starting to offer butter made with these time-honored traditions, which you might even call the European style, by inoculating the cream with a live culture. It's kept at about 80 degrees and allowed to sit out overnight and churned more slowly. This old-fashioned method brings out the natural sweetness and authentic taste of the butter, and another thing that makes the European butters unique is that most have at least 82% butterfat, whereas ordinary butter has no more than 80%. Increasing butterfat by just 2.5% this way leads to a 10% reduction in moisture. The main advantage here is that the reduced water content yields foods with a stronger butter flavor as well as a less watery texture, so things like pie crust and such turn out a bit flakier and grains are a little bit more delicate. So what if you can't consume dairy? What do you do then? Butter and cream contain a little bit of lactose and casein, the two substances that often cause dairy intolerance for some people. Because of the small amount in these foods, they may actually be well tolerated in their natural state, even by those who are lactose intolerant. Those with extreme intolerance for milk protein, which is the casein, can often take butter in the form of ghee, which is that clarified butter from which the milk solids are completely removed. Ghee is made by heating butter until protein precipitates to the bottom, and the clear liquid, which is the ghee, remaining at the top is then skimmed off. Some people actually do have severe allergies to milk and cannot handle any dairy products, however, but generally speaking, ghee is acceptable for most people. So your first choice should be the higher fat, cultured, grass-fed organic butters. Your second best is organic and then regular if that's all you can find. Whatever you do, just be sure to avoid margarines, hydrogenated oils, or even the trans fat-free spreads. They're all processed imitations and do not offer any of the health benefits that butter has so abundantly. And most of the time, they actually do the opposite. They're extremely inflammatory to the body. For those of us who can't tolerate dairy at all, there are some natural spreads made with some helpful oils like olive oil and coconut, available usually in the dairy section. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Carter. Go eat some butter, and I'll see you next time on ENZYMENTAL. Stay healthy.